Welcome back to another episode of Bitfinex Talks. I'm your host, Ricardo Martinez. Today, my guest is Andrew Rogozov. He is the co-founder of the Ton Foundation, and he's also one of the main people that builds the Ton ecosystem from a developer standpoint. Andrew, thank you for coming on the show. How are you today?
Very good, very good. Thanks for having me.
Before the podcast started, you were talking a little bit about your background. Do you want to let the listeners know who you are and what experience you have?
Yeah, sure. My name is Andrew. I'm the founding member of the Ton Foundation. Prior to that, I spent most of my life building social networks, and I used to be the CEO of the largest social network in Eastern Europe, which is vk.com. Having more than 100 million users. And I spent like most of my life, building products for mass audience. And back in 2021, I realized that there's a great opportunity and probably time has come, and I had to think about what's going to be like the next chapter of my career. And then I realized that, there is a great, blockchain community, which was originally started back in 2018 when Telegram developed, the Ton technology, Ton blockchain, and unfortunately had to abandon the project and later on hand it over to the community. And the community was so vibrant, and I saw a lot of potential, and I wanted to bring my experience of building products for mass audiences to and somehow to connect it with the blockchain. So yeah, and then I joined Ton back in 2021, and I started building.
I didn't realize you were behind VK. That's huge.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's very impressive. So taking that experience from building something as massive as VK, I know you mentioned right now that Telegram had to step away from the Ton project. Is there any connection between Telegram and the Ton project, or will there be in the future, just for people that kind of missed out on that whole saga?
Well, as I mentioned, Telegram had to step out and in 2020 handed over the technology and the whole thing to the open source community. And since then, actually, it was for the next, I think, 1 or 2 years, Telegram was not involved at all. And starting from the last year, from September, Telegram started actually also to build on Ton. But prior to that, Telegram was, since as you know, Telegram is very open platform for third-party developers, and they had this bots platform, which actually was pretty much unique back in time when Telegram launched it. And there's so many use cases that you can see in Telegram right now, and it's very sophisticated content platform as well. So most of the crypto communities using Telegram for on daily basis for not only communication but also getting information about what's going on via the channels, the private channels, public channels, and so on. And last year in April, Telegram launched the web apps platform, which dramatically extends all of the opportunities and possibilities that the developers community has, in terms of the building new experience on top of Telegram. And back in time, I had an experience. So what we did at VK, so we actually were positioning VK as not a Facebook of Russia and CIS, but we position it more or less like a WeChat, and we actually were building the whole super app of this region. And in order to do this, we had to implement mini programs platform, which actually also dramatically extended the VK platform for third-party developers, and so many use cases appeared. The whole new market actually emerged since the inception of this technology. And Telegram launched the same thing back in last year in 2022, and actually it was I would say the moment when we realized that, hey, what if we, take advantage of this technology? And we launched the wallet within Telegram based on this interface. You can actually test it out going to @wallet Telegram @wallet. So and yeah, and that's basically how Telegram started, contributing, but not in, ton ecosystem, but mostly in the whole developer ecosystem, because it's not only, you can build experiences in based on the blockchain, but actually everything might be built inside Telegram, like in Chinese market, on Korean and Japanese market. I mean, with Line, Kakao, all of these platforms, they have mini programs with which you can actually build not only for iOS or Android, but you can build within inside of the social network and social communication platform. And as I mentioned, like Telegram was like never involved since 2020, but like in last year, like in autumn, Telegram started building on Ton. And I think that's pretty much unique what Telegram did. Like together with us, we built the Fragment platform, fragment.com. You can open the website and you can take a look what it does. The main idea was that, users of Telegram, they always had this social handles, the domain names, with which you can easily find somebody within, Telegram ecosystem platform. But the thing is that, previously and all of the social networks, they do have such a, social handles. But the problem is that you don't really own this social handle. Just to give you more sense, I mean, it's like last year, I lost my account. Actually, it was banned for no reason on Instagram, and I've been using it for like 10 years, and it was banned for like no obvious reason. And I actually lost my like social handle, my last name. And Telegram implemented this. They kind of tokenized their social handles and provided an ability for their audience to actually keep their social handles on the blockchain. And Telegram since then started to respect the ownership. And it was a real thing, because like most of the integrations that we see now, like in social media, they're kind of a little bit artificial, so that, on Twitter, you can show off you with your overpriced JPEG on your avatar, right? And like on Facebook, they also like tokenize some of the, NFT, but recently also abandoned this project. So for Telegram, I think it's a unique opportunity, because Telegram, it's all about the real world use cases, and this is what we're actually focusing on. So yeah, Telegram started building. You can also check out some other use cases that we built on fragments.com. So yeah, it's just the beginning.
I just wanted to kind of establish like what kind of relationship existed since they gave over the ownership of the project to the community. I want to get back to what we're here to talk about, though, which is the open network, the Ton blockchain. Can you tell people like what it is and why you guys decided to do your own layer one chain rather than build on one of the existing blockchains?
So Ton is originally named like Telegram Open Network, but later on, when it was handed over to the community, it was renamed to the Open Network. And it's, of course, like it's layer one, third generation blockchain, which provides you, ability to to build different scenarios based on the blockchain. Of course, like it's fast, it's very scalable. Scalability, I think, is the key advantage of this blockchain. It's cheap, and actually, but you can't surprise anyone with such technology today. I think back in 2018 and 19, it was pretty much unique, but currently it's just really good piece of technology, I would say. And so we realized all of the potential of this technology in terms of the scalability, because the thing is that, if we take other layer ones, most of these blockchains, of course, it's really great. There's so many great technology now in the market, but the thing is that most of the blockchains, they were developed by very talented engineers. but most of them didn't really have experience of building, products for really mass audience. So, Telegram team, very lean team, they built this technology, having all the experience building, products for mass audiences, right? For like hundreds of millions of users. So they really, so we believe that, this technology is probably the most scalable on the market right now. But actually, even this is not enough, actually. And for us, it was why we actually chose, this technology is that we believe that we can integrate. We can have this, distribution. I would say feature, right, in order to get implemented into. To get implemented all the use cases that we're gonna build, the community's gonna build with the leverage of Telegram with the open platform of Telegram for like third-party developers. So we saw this potential, and we found a way how to implement this technology within Telegram, via web applications, bots platform, now building the wallet, which will also like dramatically extend the, like, I would say the the smoothness of the onboarding of the user base. And this is, I think, what the whole blockchain industry is like. This is like the challenge for the whole blockchain industry: how to get mass adoption, how to distribute the technology of the mass audience. So basically, yeah, that was the reason. So scalability and ability to use like Telegram platform to distribute it.
The way I understand it, I'm not the most technical guy, but I want you to explain this, like maybe without going too deep technically. Ton is like a shardable multi-chain network. Can you explain what that means and how it works?
Yeah, it's shardable network. It can have like 2 in the power of 64 shards, basically, and it's asynchronous blockchain, which basically means that it's not based on the transaction; it's based on messages. So all the shards, they communicate with each other in very, very fast and reliable way. So it allows actually the whole thing to almost like infinitely shard automatically whenever it's needed, right? So when the network is like growing, it automatically shards, which makes it also like pretty much unique and efficient in terms of scalability.
Now, what advantages would the sharding capability give to, like, I don't know, like dApps or like decentralized exchanges or DAOs that are built on the Ton blockchain?
Well, basically, on the application layer, on this level, you don't have to think about how actually even blockchain works. Even despite blockchain itself is very low level, and which also like differentiates Ton from many different blockchains. But the thing is that, of course, like for third-party developers, we built the infrastructure so that they can easily access and operate, like interact with the blockchain based on like the REST API. And in order to do this, like we built the Ton API platform, tonapi.io. You can go and check it. But also, and there are some other developers working, like the core team also are like working on like open source technology in order to get access to the blockchain itself. Yeah, so apart from this, of course, like building, so how developers interact with the blockchain, they build smart contracts, and like Ton is not EVM compatible. It has its own virtual machine, which was, of course, like it was done for the reason, because of different architecture, different style of coding in order to like scale your applications. And we have like our own language for buildings for writing smart contracts, and we also built more like simple programming language for the developers to interact with the blockchain. So basically, yeah, we put a lot of efforts into building the whole infrastructure for third-party developers so they can easily build on top of Ton, right? But also, like, apart from that, like building dApps is also it's like like I previously mentioned, this Telegram web apps platform, and this is also I would not exclude it from this equation, because I believe that having sophisticated web application platform with which you can actually build your app, like the interfaces, interact with the audience, use some viral mechanics, is also very important in order to for example, to retain audience, right? When you build like decentralized app or whatever, you usually build website, but you can, for example, notify users, right? With Telegram web application, you can send notification via the bots, and which makes it also pretty much unique and dramatically increase the retention. So yeah, we build the infrastructure and we make it available for everyone.
And then what is your work specifically? Like you mentioned that you're really focused on the ecosystem. Can you talk about like your work in developing the ecosystem?
As I mentioned, like I'm like leading some efforts related to the product development, some curating some projects. Also, I'm leading the key, like the main ecosystem builder in our on our platform. It is called First Stage Labs. Within like First Stage Labs, we built so many different things, including one of the largest non-custodial wallets, NFT marketplace, a launchpad, DEX, gaming platform, which is called Tone Play, and a bunch of other stuff. At the same time, so the wallet integration that you might check in, you might use within Telegram. Also, like there's like an independent team of developers that I'm also working with very closely to help the team to build within Telegram, and later on provide this kind of a gateway for third-party developers. So I mostly focus on the product side of things, and yes, I'm trying to contribute as much as I can, having my experience and background in building products.
Okay. As far as like third-party developers, it seems to be a common theme with like Telegram itself, and then also Ton, that you guys really want the community to build stuff on top of both platforms. How many dApps are there? Like, is there a huge ecosystem right now on Ton?
The ecosystem is constantly growing, so you can go to ton.app and you can see all of the dApps existing in our ecosystem. Now, not that many. Is actually, we count something like 600 different dApps. Those were listed actually on this in this catalog. But at the same time, we believe that whenever we implement the not self-custodial functionality within the wallet within Telegram and provide with an access, because we also build the standard for third-party developers to authorize their apps, which it is called Ton Connect. So all of the wallets in our ecosystem, they support this technology. And we're gonna add this standard support into the wallets that we built within Telegram, so that all of the dApps, all of the web applications within Telegram, they can actually start using this, and it will kind of solve the puzzle, right? So you have Telegram web apps where you can actually build natively looking interfaces. You have bots platform with which you can send notifications, interact with the user. You can have wallets on the other hand, with which you can authorize the user in the blockchain. So, and with this wallet, the user can easily sign the transactions and authorize the centralized apps. It will make the whole onboarding process as smooth as possible.
I wanted to ask you about mining, because I know like Ton has a unique situation where it was mined at first and then you stop mining it, and now it's like a proof of stake chain. Can you kind of explain that situation for us?
Of course, yeah. So, when Telegram abandoned technology, it was the current Ton is actually a test net of a regional Telegram open network. It was launched a long time ago, but the thing is that it was being used for a long time for only testing purposes. And like all of the tokens which were minted originally on the SAS network, they were like moved to the so-called, giver smart contract, which was used in order to, based on the proof of work model, in order to distribute among the community. So early adopters of the blockchain, early, believers, miners, they started actually mining this Toncoin, and the mining took place for like 2 years since since 2020, when the tokens were moved to this blockchain smart contract. So yeah, since then, I mean, tokens were distributed in decentralized way. Of course, I mean, early adopters, I mean, those who really believed in the blockchain in the first several months and first year, they're very close to the to the core team, and we work closely together in order to to grow the ecosystem. But of course, our mission and our goal is to be as decentralized as possible, in order to so that everyone can take advantage of this decentralized system and contribute, I mean, as much as possible.
What role does the TON token play within the ecosystem? I know it's kind of a utility token and it has several different use cases. Can you tell us how, what the TON token does?
Sure. So Ton coin, which is a native coin of the Ton blockchain, yeah, it's a utility token. Basically, you can use it to pay gas fees. Actually, it's utilized in many different ways. So of course, it's being used since blockchain is proof of stake, and you can vote with your Ton coin. You can use Ton coin to pay for the gas fees. You can also use it because this is something also what differentiates Ton blockchain from everything else. You have to actually pay with the Ton coin for the storage, for the validators. So for example, if you want to store, I mean, when you store your NFT in your wallet, you have to pay some rent for that. It's very tiny, but you have to do this. And also we have so-called technology, which is called Ton storage, Ton proxy, Ton sites. It's very it's quite a unique idea of how we see the the intranet future based on the blockchain, when it's completely decentralized, when everyone is when everyone can actually pay not to centralized companies in order to store their data, but to pay for the network, to the validators who are actually storing their data and paying the rental cost of the storage. But this is kind of another part of the of what we do, very forward-looking, but not something that will happen within 1 or 2 years, even despite we contribute quite a lot of efforts into this. Also, we want Ton to become the currency which being used for payments. So for example, you can pay, as I mentioned previously, fragment.com, you can actually buy Telegram handles, you can trade with other users using the Ton coin. And we want actually Ton coin to be the main currency within our ecosystem, right? So that's, I think, that's basically the overview of what it is and what it does.
Is there anything that I haven't asked you about the TON project that you feel is important for the listeners to know?
Well, I think the most important part is that something that we are, focusing on right now, regarding the how we see, Ton and Telegram ecosystem. So basically, as I mentioned, wallets that we are building, it will become, the integral part of it. And of course, the key challenge that the whole crypto industry is facing now is how to easily onboard users. It's with all this technology, NPC technology, which simplifies somehow the process of getting onboarded into the blockchain. But still, it's you have to create an account. Why should you do this if you already have an account, right? For example, in in Telegram. And the key thing is really deep integration into the existing ecosystem, right? So we build this, wallet. It should become a whole a gateway. Just imagine, hundreds of millions of users will be easily onboarded to the wallet, and they can start using, different dApps use cases without going outside of the Telegram app. Why should you do this, right? If you use this on daily basis, I mean, it has so many social features which will also help third-party developers to distribute their applications. For example, like you can compare it with with the social gaming market, like back in 2009, when Facebook launched the social gaming, and it actually created a whole new market. They just created, several parts of they just provided an access to the API, they provided access to payments and to the audience and to some viral features, and it became huge. So we see that we can kind of do the same, but within the existing, messaging platform by providing all of the toolings. So the blockchain is just, part of it, right? So wallet will become a gateway. So, and we like invite and welcome all the developers to start like experimenting with this platform to be on the cutting edge. So yeah, that's I think our main, goal for the next year.
How can the developers get involved if they want to start like building stuff on the Ton blockchain, or building dApps, or things of that nature?
So I recommend go to ton.org, go through join our communities. Most of the, we have like group chats, channels within Telegram platform. I recommend starting experimenting with Telegram web applications. I recommend to subscribe to all the channels in Telegram to be updated and get all of the up-to-date announcements from our community. Yeah, so that's I think the way how to start.
Okay, great. And then if they want to follow the project on social media, how can they do that?
You can go to Telegram and you can open Ton blockchain channel, and you can subscribe there. It's quite easy to find. But you can actually get all the links on ton.org website.
Thank you so much, Andrew, for coming on the show and letting me ask you so many questions about the Ton blockchain. I'm personally a Telegram user, so I'm super excited about all these possibilities. Is there any closing words you want to leave the audience with?
Well, yeah, first of all, thanks for having me, and I really enjoyed sharing the experience and what we do. And I think the main thing is that when I came actually to crypto, I realized that there's so many speculations going on, and people don't really build things for the users. They really build things just because they just want to make money or something like that. So I think you should be and what we actually want, our teams, our project to be we want to be mission driven, not mercenary, but missionary. So this is key thing, because it will lead us to the better future. I mean, very long term, and only based on these principles we can really build something really meaningful.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. I think with your experience building VK, and then also Telegram being one of the most popular messaging apps in the world, and then also being much more than that now, as you pointed out, there's multimedia functions and stuff to it now. I think you guys have a very, very good shot at pulling it off.
I agree.
Well, thanks again for coming on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Cheers.